Hi, kids. This is Mrs. and Mr. Williams. We're calling you guys all the way from Kuwait. We're currently deployed right now. But we're going to read you guys a Christmas story, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy it. This one is called, let me see, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, okay? This is how it goes. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
Whoville, where that's from?
I don't know, Lamar. But the Grinch, who lived in north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
Because he's broke.
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were just too tight.
He need new sneakers. He should go get them Jordans and none of 11s.
But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's.
The Who's.
Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
Whoville.
And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Please wash your stockings before you put them up.
Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew.
Next page.
Merry, merry Christmas. All the Who's, girls and boys, would make bright and early. They rushed for their toys.
That does not say Merry, Merry Christmas. That's a banner.
Oh, okay. It says Merry, merry.
You don't read that.
Okay. And then all the noises, noise. That's the one thing he hated. The noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast.
Oh, they got chicken and ribs.
And they feast. They're going
to be fat.
And they would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all.
They sung a song.
Every Who down in Whoville,
song.
The tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bell ringing. They stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing.
Told you.
They'd sing and they'd sing. And they'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing and sing.
I would tell them to shut up.
And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 43 years, they put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
How can it be wonderful and awful?
I don't know, Lamar. Jesus. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat. Then he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
He laughed in his throat.
And he chuckled and clucked. What a gray, Grinchy trick, with his coat and his hat, and looked just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since a reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found.
And no, a pit bull is not a reindeer because you put antlers on it.
Did not stop the old Grinch. No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
See? No, not a pit bull.
So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on top of his head.
See?
Then he loaded some bags and some all empty sacks on a ransackle sleigh, and he hitched up all Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, or rather to pinch. But it's a rather tight pinch.
I think she skipped 4th grade.
But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. Shut up. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out and the fireplace flew. Where the little Who stockings all hung in a row, these stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present.
I think he just wanted the presents for himself, really. Let's find out.
Pop guns and bicycles and roller skates and drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed on all the bags. One by one up the chimney. Let's say chimbley. What is a chimbley?
I don't know. You need to go back to 4th grade. Pretty sure y'all can read better than this.
Then he slunk into the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. The Who pudding. Pudding.
Pudding.
The pudding. He took the pudding, not the pudding. He took the pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now Grin. That looks just like the same word. Grin the Grinch. You say that 3 times. You say that.
It doesn't even say it 3 times. You can't even say it once.
Grin the Grinch. I will stuff this up the tree. I'm sorry, y'all. Some of these words. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, Lindy Lou, who was not more than 2. Oh, she's so little. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought of it quick. "Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here." And his sieve fooled the child, and he patted her head. Then he got her a drink and sent her back to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the all dirty liar. On their wall he left nothing but hooks and some wire. That is so sad. And then one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Aww. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 past dawn, or the Who still in bed, or the Who still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. Pooh pooh to the Who's. He was scrumptiously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear.
Say hello.
And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very.
It was merry and very.
It was very merry? Okay, no, it's not very merry. Shut up. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eye. Then he shook. What he saw was shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other. It just came the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet, ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
You got a little rhyming skill, Dr. Seuss.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew sizes that day.
You missed the word.
No, that's what it said. It said grew size.
No, it grew 3 sizes.
Okay, it grew 3 sizes. My bad. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. Aww. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. He himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. The end. Merry Christmas, guys. See? It's the end of the book. I don't know if you can see it.
It's not really a book, it's a tablet.
I hope all you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and I hope that you get everything that you ask for. But just remember that Christmas is about spending time with the people you love. Like my husband. See, I love my husband. Mwah. And I want to actually give a little shout out to, let me see, a couple of you. Yes. I have your names written down right here. Okay, first of all, happy birthday to Mr. Michael Taylor. And then a little special shout out to Mrs. Binta, Miss Khaleesi, I'm sorry, Kirk, Imani, Emily, Lamaya, Sade, Destiny, Alicia, Alana, Ordania. Okay, those are little ladies in Mr. Valerio's class. You know, just remember, grow up to be ladies, okay? I can't wait to meet you guys. We'll be home in about a couple of months, so I'm gonna make sure that we go up there and visit you guys because I really want to meet y'all, okay? I hope you enjoy the story, and just again, Merry Christmas, okay? Bye.
See y'all.
Aww.